Alright, so what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel, man. It's your boy, and today we're gonna take a first look at the brand new Marvel Zombies uniform for the guy Shang-Chi. It's one of the uniforms that I know a lot of you guys were very much so looking forward to. I think visually they did absolutely fantastic. I still can't get over the fact that this man is actually infected by the zombie virus and he's stopping it from taking over his body by using the 10 rings. That's actually crazy to me. I love the fact that they visually show us that, so absolutely stellar visual upgrade for the character, and overall they did improve him, right? He is very, very powerful. If he's one of your favorite characters and you want to invest in him, definitely go ahead. This is a big upgrade over the uniform that he had previously. However, I think they still did not go far enough. Like right now, if you take a look at his uniform bonus, we got super armor, all defense, we got damage reduction, skill damage, bonus damage, and the base kit for Shang-Chi was already very deadly because of the fact that he had a reflect, which the reflect is at 80%. He heals 50% of his HP. He has iframe ignore. Like, he's actually a very, very strong character. But we have a lot of strong characters in the game, right? And his passives are staying pretty much the same. His tier 2 passive, his 4-star passive. Well, I guess this is changing the skill that he resets, but it's fine. He still has the reset gimmick, and that's completely fine. But I think a lot of people are looking at this uniform for Shang-Chi and wondering if it can actually perform at a relatively high level in PvP, because this game is flooded with a lot of PvE characters. So what we're gonna do today is test him out at level 80, because I'm on the fence. Like many of you guys, I'm on the fence in regards to whether or not he is a worthy candidate to tier 4. Honestly, going into this update, I was planning to skip Shang-Chi and actually pretty much just chill until the mid-month, 3 weeks from now. Well, initially I thought it was going to be 2 weeks, but when they said there's an extra week, I'm like, okay, I have time to, get the books back, get my mats up. Then we found out that Medusa and Miles are the next ones coming, so I don't really have to worry about books. It's just about whether or not Medusa is good, and then I can just go ahead and build her up, which if she's a seasonal paywall, then more likely she's gonna be good. But point is, I was never intending to tier 4 Shang-Chi, and after watching the live stream and realizing that they didn't give him the one thing that I think he needs, right? I say needs, I still am on the fence about it, right? He does not have penetration anywhere in his kit, and that is a big deal for PvP characters. You want to make it so that when you're ignoring iframe, you're actually at the same time able to penetrate immunity and invincibility at the very least. You want to be able to ignore everything, like penetrate everything, shields included. But those two things are very, very important. If you can't penetrate those, you might as well don't have iframe ignore. And this is why I said in my video yesterday that they need to go back and they need to actually revamp the CTP of destruction and bring it into 2025 and beyond, because it's the only CTP of all of the CTPs that we have in the game, which is quite a few of them, right? As you can see, we have 15 different CTPs. It is the only one that gives you penetration, and they have been notoriously bad at giving PvP characters iframe ignore and penetration. And the ones that do have iframe ignore from years ago, because these days you're not giving many characters iframe ignore anymore, they just skip over giving them penetration. And if they do give the characters penetration, they skip over giving them iframe ignore, right? And I think they need to add something to supplement that, right? So these characters won't necessarily be the upper echelon, but at least they'll be competitive. Now, in the case of Shang-Chi, I still believe that he can be competitive, but it's heavily reliant on his ability to reflect damage back at the enemies. That 80% reflect is nasty, but you already had reflect on this uniform here. So like, maybe you don't want to buy the new one. Like it's completely up to you, right? Or maybe you want to wait until Black Friday. Point is, we're gonna try him out with 3 different CTPs. We're gonna start with the destruction to give him penetration. Then we're gonna try him with authority, and then we're gonna try him with conquest and see what the results look like. Because again, I want to give you as many options as possible. All right. Now, I do not think he's going to be able to take down Null. But if he could, I don't know, reflect damage back at Null and make Null trigger his undead, that would be respectable. If he's able to take a life off Sentry, that would be respectable. Logan is banned this week, but if he could have, we might maybe go down into a lower league and see if he can like trigger Logan's, you know, immortality and that kind of stuff. That would be pretty cool. But most of the teams are probably just going to be running Sentry and unfortunately no. So we'll go against these guys right here. Nemesis, obviously these guys are mega whales. You know, they spend like 10 times the money I spend. So yeah, this should give you guys I don't know, a little bit of a look. Okay, so for some reason, even though I put team 4 as my active team, it keeps defaulting to my team 1. So I guess I'm gonna have to put this right here. That's kind of an annoying change. Okay, yeah, so it always defaults to team 1. That's kind of stupid. All right, let's see how this goes. I guess since this guy has Null in the second spot, maybe I should put what's her face on the team, Shuri, but it's fine. Oh, he already he triggered his third skill against AV, so that's kind of yikes. It's actually kind of crazy that Hela can't even take out AV, and it just comes down to the fact that she doesn't have iframe ignore. That's just the truth of it. But like, holy shit, bro, AV's actually killing him. That's fucking crazy. I know he's level 80. I know he's level 80. Okay, but goddamn, bro, AV is basically just Colossus. Nah, he's a little bit better than Colossus, but like, that's crazy. And I'm not gonna cut this. I want y'all to see like he's struggling against AV, bro. So having having him with the destruction is not even viable. Oh man, that's just sad. Tragic. Couldn't even make it to actually fight anybody. Okay, let's go. Let's see how this goes. Keep in mind, I do not have a super OP PvP deck, nothing like that. But still, I'm expecting something out of him. Like, just give me a sign that you can actually do something, and then I might consider the tier 4 for you. Now, keep in mind that only once did he make it past AV with the destruction. And so far, we've already made it past AV with the authority. Now, he made it past only to die, so we'll see. Yeah, consistently authority is better than destruction. Okay. Still only dying to Null though, but we're gonna keep rocking. Then we're gonna swap over to Conquest, see what the Conquest looks like, and then we're gonna go fight a Sentry team. These guys pretty much control timeline, bro. It's just Sentry and Null's world right now. It's a tragic tragic future. You kind of see why you want to have penetration in your kit though, right? Because when you try to substitute or like implement penetration via your CTP, then you lose the survivability, right? So that's why it's so important to have iframe ignore and penetration in your kit, ideally on the exact same skill. because when you don't, and then you try to put the destruction in there, you're sacrificing defense for the ability to actually do damage. But if you just die, it doesn't even matter, right? And in that regard, you might as well just try to live as long as possible and then hope that you can actually get a lick in. Now, in the case of Shang-Chi, he just needs to get the third skill off and hope they're not in an iframe. So we'll see what Conquest looks like. Maybe Conquest will make him. The thing is, though, he's so heavily reliant on his thirds. Wow, that's crazy. Really? All right, so Conquest is worse for him than Authority. So from the 3 CDBs that we're testing so far, it seems like Authority is better for him. I was running him with a Mighty Authority, but I figured out I'll just check Triple Brilliant and see. See? Oh yeah, he's struggling. He's struggling with the Conquest, fam. You know, part of me likes this because it keeps up the value of the Authority, which has been going down. Like these days, it's just Doom that really rocks it. Doom and Thanos, and even then, most people are swapping over their Thanos to the Conquest. But yeah, Authority looks better than Conquest to me, anyways. Let's see. Okay, he got a hit off. Yeah, but the Authority was still more consistent. Now, before we go any further, right, let me just back out here, and then let me just show you the build that this guy is running on these characters really quickly, and then his cards, right? So like he's choosing his PvP deck, as you can see, got 106% max HP, and then we got the energy attack proc and double HP proc with 122 for all attack, 10% physical, 25% energy. Now you compare that to mine, attack wise we're pretty close, but we don't have the HP proc, alright? So that's a big thing as to why, and my deck 2 is nothing, okay? That's a big reason as to why. And then Brilliance, obviously 6-star, and then over here we got Brilliant, and yeah, and where's AV? I just want to give people context, right? So everything is Brilliant. I'm not checking against weak people, right? All right, cool. What we're gonna do though is then move down and see if we can find a fully stacked. There we go. This is perfect. A hero team. This guy's also from Nemesis, so I'll show you what he's rocking, and then we'll jump in and we'll take a look at how Shang-Chi performs. So cards, for context, that's what he's running. Deck 2, 106, and then he got double HP procs. Alright. No, he actually. Yeah, he has both. Okay. It's kind of confusing because there are so many of them. Okay, so he has a less attack than the last guy, but the HP is pretty solid. And then we'll see Brilliant. It's got 90 and a 100% there. Jeez, so these guys are stacked, right? Comparatively to me, his support characters, I'm expecting them to be Brilliance as well, right? But we can check just for context. Where's the Ebony? Where's Ebony? Ebony? Hello? Oh, he's Blast now. Forgot that. There you go. Oh, okay, Mighty. Okay, fine. And then his Colossi. Alright, his Colossi is a Brilliant. Okay, cool. Now, let's see. And we'll keep our team the same. Just for context, she's rocking a Brilliant, but it's not rolled for PvP because we don't have the decreased chain hit. And Wasp is only running like a Mighty. Okay, cool. So it's an uphill battle, and I want it to be this way, right? Because although I don't have as good a cards as these guys, right? I'm still in, I would say, maybe the top 15% of people in terms of like my stats and stuff. So if I'm struggling, you will struggle, Like most people will, anyways, right? Like 85% will struggle. Damn. I was kind of hoping that he would, that he would be able to catch 800k HP is mad, bro. He was only able to get off 200k. That's crazy. Oh man, buddy. Um, let's see the work. Oh. Yikes. Okay. So, brilliant conquest. Couldn't even get a kill off. Couldn't even get a kill. Unfortunately, let's see what the destruction is. Literally just a distraction. It's unfortunate. I'm just doing it because might as well, to be thorough. But and I know obviously if I tier 4 him, he's gonna have more base HP, more attack, right? But I'm not seeing a reason to take that next step, right? Because I don't need him for anything besides as a reflect pylon for Otherworld Battle, TBA, AC, right? Because I'm never going to use him in timeline. He's just not good enough. The ban list isn't strict enough, right? Now, I might test him out in PvE. I will test him out in PvE, to be honest. Like, I'll test him out in PvE and see how he does there at level 80 and see if, like that can get me some hype to tier 4 him. Because, like I said, we have 3 weeks in between, so, I could throw him a bone and see how that works out. But, like, it's not looking good for Shang-Chi, bro. Realistically. Now, keep in mind if I had better cards, like if I was like a mega whale like these guys, like in the top 5%, like most of these guys that I'm going to be fighting are in like the top, I would say 1%. But if I was closer to top 5%, then the fight would look a little bit better, right? Like I probably, if I had the double HP proc at the very least, I think it would look a little bit better. And then obviously at tier 4, it would look even better. But I'm trying to go from the average player perspective or as close to the average player's perspective as possible. Because if you need to be in the top 5% to actually enjoy playing Shang-Chi, then most people should skip over buying and building him, right? If he's designed for the top 5%, then only the top 5% should buy him. But I will say that Authority is definitely his best CTP. Like against Null, against Sentry. Again, you realistically don't need to test against anybody else because these guys are like the Hitachos, right? If he's doing good against these two, then it's gonna look about the same against everybody else. But like from what I've seen so far with these 3 CTPs, even though he's missing the penetration, it looks like it doesn't matter because he doesn't live long enough against these guys. Now, if it's against the lessers, then it might matter. But if he's relying heavily on his ability to reflect back in their face, yeah, Authority is better. Because, like, I realized they're like, even though he died, he's able to get Sentry down to 500k of the 800k, as opposed to with the Conquest, the most I saw was like 6. I don't know. Either way, Shang-Chi, I think, is designed for. You guys want to see how he does with the old uniform really quickly against that same guy? I think Shang-Chi is designed for like AC. So if you don't play AC, it's no point, right? I'm gonna just do one run because I know somebody might be curious. Hey, I have the old uniform. If I level 80 him and give him a build or whatever, can he still do good? Or like, oh, maybe I just prefer the look of the movie uniform, or maybe I like the actor and I want to play as that version of Shang-Chi. Let's see. Nah, it looks like about the same, to be honest. Again, you're relying heavily on the reflect. and the reflect can't carry him all the way unless he's tier 4 and you have a mega whale build. Yeah, I'm gonna say it. Designed for the top. Designed for the top 1% of players, bro. You know? Again, if you care about AC, then you can invest in Shang-Chi. But I'm gonna wrap it up here. Y'all leave me your thoughts in the comments, and I will catch you guys in the next one. We'll check him out in PvE while we're at it, right? See what he can actually do. Maybe if you give him a rage, he can do combat superhero for you. You know, something like that. We'll see.